So at the moment of me filming this, I have 106 subscribers on this channel, which is, some say, not a lot, but for a perfume channel I think it's pretty good, especially considering that I posted maybe for like 2 months. Well, I took a break that was over half a year, and I gained quite a lot of traction while I was on that break, so I returned. Because I guess there was demand. So I am very grateful for that demand, and I asked people for questions because someone actually asked me for a Q&A, and I decided to post one. And I have some questions that I wrote down actually. Let's see. I have quite a few questions that I wrote down. So let's get through them, and some of them are perfume related, some of them are more related to me, so I just wanted to quickly, before anyone disappears, and because no one watches videos till the end for some reason, so before you go, I have a different channel, it's called Dmitri's World. I will leave a link in the description, it's this one, and there I post more about my life and more artistic stuff, etc. So a few comments that I have here do kind of touch on the themes that I post on that channel. So if you're interested in me as a person, then definitely check out that channel, check out the videos, maybe you'll be interested in them. So the first question that I have written down is by Aiden, and that is, if I was going to create a fragrance, what would the brand be called and what would it smell like? And it is a very good question because I think I actually talked about it in a few of my videos. I do have an idea to create a fragrance brand. I'm not really sure yet. I will see how this channel goes because it is quite expensive to create a fragrance brand. And I'm not sure if I want to commit to that without having an audience. And yeah, but this channel is going pretty well, so maybe in a year or two I will have a fragrance brand. And regarding the name of the fragrance brand, I'm not really sure yet. And if I did have a concrete idea, I would not tell you because you would steal it. And no, but I think it maybe will have to do something with Greek mythology because I grew up in Cyprus and I just feel very connected to the island and just to Greek mythology and Mediterranean. Or it will be called something like, or it might be called something like Magnolium, so from Magnolia flower. I don't know, I just like that name. As for the perfume itself, I have had quite a few. I actually have a notebook somewhere where I have some ideas for perfumes that I would want to create. If you watched my reviews, a lot of the fragrances that I would create, I think, would be a bit on the lighter side, a lot of citruses and more watery, fresh notes. It is just because that is something that I personally enjoy, and my favorite time of my life was my childhood and growing up well, it's not a tropical island, but quite a warm island, and then I moved to Netherlands. Now I don't know, it's June, it's 15 degrees outside, I have a runny nose because it's cold and wet and gross, and I can't wait to be back to the Mediterranean. And yeah, it's just the climate that I enjoy, and I don't really see myself wearing a lot of heavy fragrances while being there. Though I do have to say that whenever I went to concerts um, and different things like that, especially closer to my birthday, so in January, February, um, in Cyprus, I would wear Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. It was like my scent to go out. So it is like a heavier one, and I do enjoy that one. And I have Russian tea, which is heavier, and Abit Rouge, but those are more for here, I think, for Netherlands, not for Cyprus. So I would probably have a lot of citrusy notes. I currently actually got the Elio perfume that I talked about last year. I got it on the re-release this year, and I'm really enjoying it. And I think I might have created something I might create something with like cactus fruit note as well, or watermelon fragrance. I would really enjoy the room 1 of 15 wave child, but it's a bit sweet. I would like to create more fresh watermelon. And I remember my mom having a perfume that was very fresh, a bit sweet watermelon. And I asked her, and she remembers it too, and she does not remember the name of it. And yeah, it was just a childhood memory from the fragrance that she wore during summer. And none of us remember the name of it, so that is quite sad. I hope that answered the question. A lot of citruses, probably. I really like mandarins. Actually, pineapple is something that I would really like to try in a fragrance as well to create. And the second question is what first got me into fragrances, and it's by Joe, I think. I wrote some of the people who asked the questions down, but later on I didn't, so I will just have the question here. And I already answered this, I think, with the previous question. So my mom, as far as I remember, like when I was just a baby already, I remember she always had a big collection of fragrances. So to me, it was kind of normal. So my grandparents, my dad, everyone around me had like 2 or so fragrances, and my mom, I remember that specific. She had like a wooden orange wardrobe, or I'm not sure what it was actually. It was like quite a tall shelf, but it was made of wood, and she had like 2 shelves of perfumes, probably over 100, 100%, over 100, 100%. But she had quite a lot, and I remember just um, really enjoying to like just sometimes she would spread them on the bed and we would just check some of them out and smell different things. And she had little wooden things with samples, which I am doing that now as well. I have this little wooden box that I use to store some samples. I have another one. So, yeah, the reason I'm into fragrances is because of my mom. And I remember actually the first fragrance that I got was when I was around 7. That was my own before my mom would let me like try some of her stuff. But the first fragrance that I got was when I was 7 and I started going to school. And my grandma, she, I was 6 or 7, I don't know, first grade basically. So my grandma took me to, for finishing kindergarten, I think, to the local perfumery store, and I picked whatever I wanted. That was the deal. So we tried quite a lot. I remember the lady there was very kind, very helpful for the little child that wanted to get a cool fragrance. And what I got, I still have it back home in Cyprus. I don't like the smell now. I think maybe it went bad because it was quite fresh, or maybe I just got tired of it. But it was Levin, um, the blue bottle. I will show it here. But I really enjoyed it back then. Now, not so much. Maybe I'll try if they still make it. Maybe something is wrong with that particular bottle. But yeah, that is what got me into fragrances. And another question by Joe is, what fragrances I think are blind buy worthy? And my answer to that is none of them. Quite frankly, I think it's just fragrances are so unique to you because you completely like you perceive smells completely different based on your upbringing and your nose and just your makeup as a person. And I don't know, I can't tell you that there is any perfume that is blind buy worthy. I would not advise to do that. I had like one blind buy perfume, and it was Monotheme, the citrus one, and that is that is if you for some reason had to blind buy something, I think a safe bet would be um, like one note, so mono perfume, and it's just a note that you know that you like. So maybe if you like lavender, I'm sure that just a lavender perfume with nothing added to it will probably be good, unless it's very cheap and then it can still be bad. But yeah, I would not advise you to blind buy. It's kind of a waste of money and space, and just in general not the best practice. The next questions are from Jane. Are there any fragrance notes that negatively affect me, like make me sneeze or tickle my nose? I don't think so. So I can't remember sneezing or having like an allergic reaction to a note in a fragrance, but I do know that some of them give me a headache and some of them I just don't really enjoy. So first note that I want to say is clary sage. Most of perfumes that have it, I cannot stand them. And a lot of more fresh, men-oriented perfumes have those. It's quite sad because I do like classics like Paul Monsieur or Antaeus from Chanel, Dior Sauvage Elixir. I do really like that one. But whenever they put like the Hermes H24, I think, and another one, male oriented, they always put clary sage, and whenever they do, I just know that I'm not gonna like it. I think there was maybe one perfume that I liked that had clary sage. There was also Mont Blanc perfume that I really hated that had clary sage. So clary sage is just a note that I really don't like the smell of. And the notes that make my head hurt, I think I'm not really sure what it is. It's like those fake notes that smell too sweet. So let's say Baccarat Rouge 540 or the Gucci, the floral ones, like the yellow, purple, I think. Different ones. So a lot more female-oriented perfumes that just make my head hurt because they're too sweet, and I just in general don't like gourmand fragrances that much. And another thing is heavy musks. So they just make me feel less energetic and they just make me feel heavier. So there was Essential Perfumes, Musk something. I did not really enjoy that. And Narciso Rodriguez, my mom really likes them, but I don't see the point of masks. And they add masks to quite a lot of perfumes, so of course I still can tolerate them, just not like mask-oriented perfumes, you know. The last notes that I want to mention is just molecule perfumes. So once again, my mom really likes them. I got her Juliette Has a Gun cherry one, and she has the Not a Perfume, Not Whatever, all of those. She has quite a lot of Juliette Has a Gun stuff. She has quite a lot of Juliette Has a Gun things, but I just don't understand. I first of all don't really smell them, and when I do, they smell quite bad, especially from the tester. Like on your skin, they smell different. Some of them smell a bit woody on me, some don't smell at all. So I just don't really like the molecular perfumes, and I don't really see the point. But of course, if you like them, it's up to you. So the next question that Jane asked was about what kind of films, music, and things like that do I like. And as I said, I do have a separate channel for this. I actually have series where I talk about the music that I enjoyed in a particular month or time, and I will have like my music collection soon. But recently I have been enjoying more classical music, so something like folk rock, someone like Joan Baez, Melanie, Bob Dylan. or classical French music like Brigitte Bardot or François Hardy. Um, yeah, those are the artists that I enjoy right now. Actually, behind me I have Charlie XCX, so from a modern artist. The Brad album I really enjoyed last summer, was very fun. There is also Tamino here. I have a signed postcard. I saw him live a few times. Also a great modern musician. He makes music that has a bit of a Middle Eastern vibe to it and very lyrical. I used to be a huge fan of Lana Del Rey. Now not so much. I don't know. I just grew up out of. I just grew out of my teen years, like last year or so. I kind of just stopped last year, I think. Madonna. I also like Madonna, like the classics, Beatles. I really like instrumental music, especially from Studio Ghibli movies. And that reminds me of the movies that I like. So Studio Ghibli, that is what I grew up with. Laputa Castle in the Sky was one of my favorites growing up. Princess Mononoke and which one? Which also Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, and I really enjoyed the Lord of the Rings series and the Hobbit movies. Lord of the Rings movies I did not see at the cinema because I wasn't born yet and then I was too young. The Hobbit movies I actually watched at the cinema, part of them with my family, and it was a very fun time. So I have been obsessed with those series for quite a while since I was a child, and yeah, I just really enjoy those series as well. But for more up to date things on the art that I enjoy, just follow my main channel, let's say. Now, for the next question, it is weird smells that I do like. I think it's quite a so it's a weird smell, but then I feel like so many people say that they like it that it became not a weird smell, but I do like the smell of the gas station and gasoline. I also like the smell of not Flint, but Flint actually as well, but how do you call them? Lucifers. Matches, yeah. So when you strike a match and it burns, it smells very interesting. I do like that. And what else? What else? Those are some weird smells that I do like, and there is one that is not so weird, but it is quite interesting because so it is book smell, and when the books are new, I actually quite dislike it, the smell of the book. And you open a fresh book like that you just bought at the store, I don't know, it smells bad. But if it's an old book, especially if it's like getting yellowish, it smells usually very good and like a library, and I just really enjoy that. I don't know why. I don't know why. Do they make new books from with a different material, or is it just something about the aging process? And another thing that reminds me of is that I really enjoy a smell of wooden houses and rooms with a lot of wooden furniture, and it's just such a nice smell to smell like the natural woods of the furniture. I don't know, like in the forest as well, but when it's inside a house and all the furniture is made of wood or the walls are made of wood, it smells so nice. Okay, so the next question is, have I had any funny or embarrassing reactions to fragrances I wear? Not really. I think mostly because I don't really wear a lot of experimental, like zoologist things, perfumes that smell like shit. To be frank, like I don't know, I don't like indolic perfumes. I don't like heavy perfumes. I don't. I'm quite boring like that. No, I like interesting perfumes, but just not the heavier stuff or ouds and things like that. So no, I didn't really have that. Though I do have some stories about perfumes that people didn't like apparently. So the most embarrassing perfume story that I can say is it wasn't that embarrassing, but I felt embarrassed for myself. It was after I went to like local niche perfume store, and they had a lot of Montal perfumes. Also, one of them, I remember it smelled like pesto sauce. It was like uh, Welcome to Milan, Milan something, that perfume. But it's not the one which I'm talking about right now. So the perfume that I'm talking about is actually Black Oud, and I think it's quite a classic for Montal. I'm not too familiar with the house. They smell quite synthetic, but I did like Black Oud, and it smelled very rosy. I didn't smell a lot of oud, and yeah, I sprayed it on my coat. It was winter. I sprayed it on my coat and on my skin, like maybe one, two sprays, three max. So not a lot. And I really enjoyed the smell. And then I was taking a bus actually that day, so public transport. And I felt that perfume just go all over that bus, like fill the full bus. It started choking me out, not just the people around me, and I just felt kind of embarrassed that I'm sitting here and just making this whole bus smell. I mean, it smells nice, smells like roses, but also kind of smells like a, I don't know, smells like roses. Smells a bit like a market with a lot of older women who like, um, I don't know, smells like, I don't know, just it was just very strong. I don't know how it was so strong with just 3 drops. But yeah, it kept smelling, like I kept smelling that perfume for 2 days or so. I don't really understand why some people just chase those types of perfumes that smell so potently. I can't imagine like wearing more than one spray, and even that, it's like just for a night out or something when you want to be noticed, but that's not every day. And from a more negative comment, someone once said, so I was wearing Bortnikov, and his cologne called Visna. And it's supposed to be pineapple, quite fresh, very interesting scent. I actually have another perfume that smells very much like it, but it's discontinued. It's called Siren by Dark Tales. It's like an indie brand. I think it's the lotus and maybe the pineapple. Bortnikov perfumes are in general made of like very good ingredients, all natural. A lot of them are banned by IFRA, so it's not like IFRA approved perfume, but I do like it. It's like traditional perfumery, let's say. And someone told me that I smell like a damp, what is it called? Underground, a damp basement. I don't know. Uh, I didn't feel embarrassed, but it's like, what? What are you talking about? It smells nice, fresh, and like pineapple, maybe. Damp basement? Yeah, no. So that was a moment. Now talking about so there was second part of this question, and it was my reaction towards others. So maybe perfume that they wear that I really hated, and I think it is perfumes like Baccarat Rouge once again, 540. When someone wears it, I just can't smell them, especially like at university and stuff. You smell those people from so far away, and it's just kind of obnoxious and too sweet. Those sweet perfumes do induce a headache in me. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the molecules that they use and that they are very chemically engineered, whatever. I don't know. Or maybe it's just that the sweetness overwhelms me, but I don't really like those. So yeah, I don't like when people wear very, very heavy, very sweet perfumes. Especially something like the Ariana Grande one that is dupe for Baccarat Rouge. So, next question is, what are my least favorite fragrances? I think I just answered that. I don't like sweet fragrances though. I do have Baccarat Rouge samples because they keep sending them to me when I order stuff. Um, I don't know, I guess it's a bestseller. I will actually check my Fragrantica on perfumes that I didn't like. My most disliked fragrances were Explorer Platinum Mont Blanc. It's the one with Clary Sage, very prominent Clary Sage. I did not like Rose Jam by Lush. I expected to like it because I like roses and I thought it would smell something like Turkish candy, which is what people were describing it as, but um, Turkish candy is quite light. It doesn't smell that heavy, nor does it taste very heavy. Like it's sugary, sure, but it's quite a light taste. And that perfume was too sweet, too overwhelming. And of course, the perfumes that you like the least, you smell them the most. So it was very projecting. Another one that I did not like is the Montal one, Rendezvous à Milan. That was called. That's what it was called. Haltane by Perfumes de Marly. I did not like that at all. I got a sample and I sent it to someone because, first of all, of course, Clary Sage. I see the note there, but the praline notes and then the mix with oud. It was quite heavy and I don't know. It just smelled horrible to me, like a repellent. And another perfume that I don't really enjoy is, I have quite a few, but yeah, the last one I'm gonna mention is one of those molecule ones, Sileno Gato Perfume. It's quite an expensive one. I got a sample when I ordered, I think, Russian tea. It's just smelled bad. From the sample, I remember it smelled like piss, like actually. On my skin it was a bit woody, but I can't. So the next question is, has my nose improved since I first got into fragrances? I have to say, first of all, my nose actually made the opposite thing. It de-improved since I moved to Netherlands because, as I said, I'm quite prone to like cold weather really affects me. So right now it's June 6th. It's 14, 15 degrees. My nose is running, I'm cold, my hands are cold. And back in Cyprus, I never had any allergies or anything like that, but I noticed that here in the winter, my nose is constantly closed because it's just too cold and I can't with the cold and being inside. So that is a bit of an obstacle that I never experienced before that I'm fighting here. Maybe it also has to do something with the dryness of the air here, or it's quite humid actually, I think, but maybe inside the house in winter it's quite humid, dry. So I don't know. Something is different here from Cyprus, so that impacted my nose badly. But talking about fragrances, I did mention that I have been smelling a lot of fragrances since I was a child because of my mom's collection. Um, So I think I always had somewhat of an experience with fragrances. And I remember as a child, especially at my the grandma's place, I really liked to go into the um, cupboards and like the uh, bathroom like cabinets and stuff, the vanity, etc. And I remember my grandma always had a few perfumes. One of them was, I believe, what was it? It had like a little knight on the bottle, and it was by Burberry, I think. It was one of her signatures. My mom would always get her a new bottle, and she had a few others. My grandpa had, wow, which one was it? It was Dolce & Gabbana, but I don't remember the perfume name. And I remember also smelling, my grandma always had like those soaps that had different flowers in them or different, um, like lemon slices and stuff like that, those artisan soaps, and I would smell each one of them, and she usually had like 4 or 5 at every moment, and I like her vanity thing, just there. And I remember as a child I really enjoyed the mall experience of going to like the to get some gifts or something from the soap store as well. It wasn't really a soap store. It had like the Bass bombs and kind of like Lush, but the local one. Um, so all the Bass salts, the Bass bombs, and the artisan soaps, and I really love to smell them as well. So I always like to smell things, and my mom had quite a collection of perfume, and yeah, but by myself I got into it since I moved out on my own. I think I kind of missed my mom's collection because I would always just use that when I was living with my parents, so I didn't have to have my own. Since I started to smell more niche things, I do notice that I see the notes more clearly. Like, I understand now what a specific note smells like. I think I did before, but not to the current extent. So that was, yeah. I still think that it improved because I have been trying quite a lot of stuff with discovery sets, etc. So the next question that I got is actually any fragrances that I smell everywhere, and yes, there is a few of them, and I mentioned them already quite a few times because they really annoy me, and those are the Baccarat Rouge 540 and the types of that fragrance. So, for example, the Ariana Grande one. Another one that I Another one that I smell quite frequently is of course Dior Sauvage, which is understandable. I don't mind the Dior Sauvage like the original, but the Elixir to me smells completely different, and I really enjoy that one. I maybe will buy it, but maybe not because for what it is, it's quite overpriced. It costs around 200 euros, which is you can get a good niche perfume for that, and well, maybe someone will gift it to me. So yeah, then I will never say no. What other perfumes do I smell a lot? I think that I usually just notice stuff that I don't like as much. So yeah, I don't think I can name anything particular, like anything else. I do smell quite a lot of Jean Paul Gaultier, different ones, but they all kind of mix together apart from Scandal to me. Um, Yeah, those are some of but I don't pay that much attention to what people are wearing, and I also noticed that here in Netherlands, I don't think perfume is that popular compared to some other countries. So thank you so much for staying with me and subscribing, liking this, etc. And I will see you next time.